Niantic. Niantic confirms micro GPS drift is a TOS terms of service violation in Pokemon Go, dude. So let's get into the absolute insanity that is this, because this is a joke. This is not your fault. This is their fault. And I love the way it's Niantic confirms and it's not like Scopely. Even though like Niantic said that they wash their hands of Pokemon Go. But you know, when it comes to the bad things, it's like I should just put up Niantic's name there. We know it's not your fault, Niantic. We know what's going on. All right, let's have a quick look at this, because this is absolutely absurd. Like, this is the most absurd thing that I've ever seen. I can't believe a company that was just bought for $4 billion, that probably makes like $50 billion a year or $30 billion a year. Who knows, dude? Do a Google search. I'm a Google search in a second. Is actually painting spoofers and legitimate players with the same brush because of a bug in the game that legitimate players noticed and capitalized on. Like, that's literally it. I'm going to show you how to do this bug now in a second. I must stress, don't do this bug or you'll get banned. But basically with iOS, you go in and you just flip and shuffle like this and you press. You can see you get a remote raid, and the next time after that, we will get a regular raid. And then you can use that regular raid pass to go in. Now, this only works with a 200-meter radius distance. So it's not really the biggest bug in the world, but it was quite useful to use. Again, don't do this right now as well. I do not advise doing it until we get further information about how absolutely stupid this is. Let's have a look. In recent clarification, Niantic Community Manager has officially confirmed that the practice of abusing micro GPS drift is a violation of the Pokemon Go terms of service. Also, I'm getting all this from PokemonGoHub.net. They're a pretty reliable source. The announcement was shared by Kestrel, a community manager with the Pokemon Go Ambassadors program, clarifying that it is considered TOS violation. Okay, so this is one of them. And there was a Reddit thread that also popped up, trainers being particularly confused. Why would Niantic spend any resources on penalizing or fixing an issue that has been around for years? So what is this drift? This drift is essentially, you can do it with iOS and you can do it with Android. With Android, you simply go to the gym, you turn the location off and on again, and you're able to use an in-game normal pass instead of a remote raid pass. And with iOS, it's easy. You just kind of shuffle up out of the game and shuffle in, and instead of a remote raid pass appearing, a regular raid pass will appear. Now, you might think, wow, that's kind of hacking or whatever. Like, that shouldn't be allowed. But it only works because of the 200-meter radius thing. And you might go, what's the 200-meter radius thing? That basically means if you go into a gym legitimately for a raid, once you're in and you're fighting the Pokemon, you can walk 200 meters away from the gym before it will notice that you've gone too far away from the gym and it will cancel you out. So you're kind of hacking on something that's legitimately in the game. And the hack itself, I mean, it's up to them to fix it. I'm of the opinion. Let's have a look. Micro GPS drift is intentional user control exploit where players manipulate their device's location. Now, I disagree with that for iOS. You're not deliberately manipulating your device's location on iOS, because you have no control over your device's location on iOS. You're simply going out of the game and coming back in very quickly, which happens to, for some reason unknown to anybody who has no idea about technology, manipulating your GPS there. So with iOS, I think this is very like fine print. Now, you could argue with Android, you are manipulating your device's location because you're literally able to turn off and turn on your GPS on Android. But when it comes to iOS, who knows what's happening when you go in and out? Like, you could be going in and out to check a WhatsApp message, come back in, have been like talking to your friends, hit on a gym, like, oh, I got in, I was really close by or whatever. It's stupid. Now, obviously, there's a difference between that scenario that I just gave and actually knowing that you're doing the thing. But doing the thing knowingly doesn't matter, because who knows what the fuck you're doing, you know what I mean? Who knows? Okay. Rapidly turning off GPS on and off, or quickly switching in and out of the Pokemon Go app. So they basically covered Android and iOS there. The behavior takes advantage of the GPS race condition and momentarily places the player slightly outside their true location. Players have been using the trick to access gyms and participate in raids beyond normal interaction range. It's 200 meters. It's literally nothing. It's like, there's been spoofers in the game since I started playing in 2022, and I haven't seen them being dealt with at all, you know? At all. Now, like, you know, Scopely, Niantic, Pokemon Go, let me know. But, I mean, there's literally a YouTuber who's, you know, recently changed his tune, whose whole thing was spoofing. His whole thing was spoofing. And he was going to every location ever, and I don't care that I'm calling the guy out, because he knows who he is, he knows what he was doing. Fair play that he's changed. don't give a shit. Niantic, at the time, would have seen this, would have been aware of it, and did nothing. Did nothing. And here you have like a legitimate person walking down the street, little old Tony, you know, having a good time. He's a little bit far away, but he's still out legitimately playing. Does a little toggle, banned. Niantic's anti-cheat and trust safety teams have reviewed the behavior and confirmed it violates the terms of service. The company has stated the following: this exploit can be detected by their anti-cheat systems. How convenient for legitimate players that this exploit can be detected, but a spoofing app. Woo! Players caught using this method risk being flagged. Community members are advised not to promote or encourage this behavior. So when I show you this thing in a second, if I haven't already put it up, don't do it, okay? Don't do it, because you'll get flagged and screwed. A Niantic community manager, this guy, shared a statement to the community ambassadors clarifying that the exploit is indeed against the TOS and urged the community leaders to spread awareness, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and bottom line, if you've been using or considered the micro GPS drift method, stop. Stop it. Niantic has confirmed it is against the rules and can result in a possible account warning or bans. As always, it's best to play within the rules to ensure the game remains fair and fun for everyone, including spoofers and spoofers who are YouTube content creators. They're also cool too. But you, normal guy walking down the street, who's that minus 10 meters away from the gym, you're the guy who's gonna suffer for all of this. It's an absolute joke. I don't have anything more to say on it than I think whoever's running this game now, because nobody knows, pokemongo, Scopely, Niantic is what's coming out with, you need to fix this. If a player base finds a bug in your game, just like they did with sniping when it first came out, if anyone doesn't know what sniping is, it's when you can remote raid through your friends online. And there was like a bug where you could remote raid your friends, and they patched it and they brought back sniping, and it's still pretty cool, just not as cool as it was the first time we had it. You gotta fix that. That's up to you. That's on you. Even if it means getting rid of that 200 meters thing, I don't care. You can't hold some normal, awesome, legitimate player accountable, especially when you're not cracking down and spoofing. Now, someone watching from whoever's running the game might go, oh, we are cracking down. You're not. Case in point, that YouTuber. Case in point. Dude's still running. And that's just one dude. And he was in the public eye. And if you hadn't caught him, I'd imagine you haven't caught any other spoofer. Which means to me that this just is not fair at all for anyone in the community that it's a legitimate player. And I think this is the most absurd thing I've ever read from a multi-billion-dollar company to come out and blame legitimate players for their lack of, what would you say, I don't know, like being able to fix this thing. Like, this is your job. You know, we as a player base have found a hole, and you either go, okay, that's actually not too bad, or you fix it. You don't go, if you do it, you're screwed. It's not fair. That's 100% not fair, not the way to go. And I'm actually appalled. I'm honestly I'm appalled that this is the response that a company would give. And I love this game. I like this company. I've met these people. Not everybody. They're all really nice. It's nothing to do with that. It's just this collective decision that's come out now that feels like this falls onto the average legitimate player is absurd, when you guys should be fixing it. Let me know in the comments what you think, dudes. That's pretty much it for me today. I'm absolutely dead. Talk to you soon.